If you're looking for a bed, this is the wrong place. This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Helga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No. The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists. Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap. I don't know why I bother.
You're disgusting. Don't you even think of laying a finger on me, or I'll cut off something you can't live without.
Working at the Rift and Fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket.
Sorry about the mess. Keeping this place clean is quite a chore. Work? I suppose you can call it that. I call it slavery. I work my fingers to the bone keeping this disgusting place clean. Ever since my parents died and Helga took me in, it's been a nightmare. How was I to know she was such a wretched woman? So now I'm stuck living here, while those pigs she calls customers grope me and say the most awful things. It's not just the work, it's everything about her. She's disgusting. I think she takes her worship of Dibella a bit too seriously. Do you know she slept with 3 different men in the last month alone? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Just for once, I'd like to see her squirm, to rub her nose in it. Actually, there is, but I don't think I could get away with doing it. She'd kill me if she found out. You see, I happen to know, after she makes love, she gives her partner a token of her affection, called a Mark of Dibella. If you confront her with 3 of the marks, she'd be so embarrassed. Well, I don't know what she'd do. Oh, this is going to be great! You need to get the marks of Dibella from Boli, Hofgrir, and Indaren. Not sure how you're going to do that, but try your best. Then just confront Helga with them, and the rest works itself out. Try and get those marks without violence, please. I don't want to be
You should try the
responsible
fish
for
here.
their deaths.
Nothing like a good book
Or
and a good
yours.
meal to warm the heart.
Spana, has that skooma adult...
Working at
have
the
any
Rift and
tips on
Fishery
how
is
to
tough,
use Helga,
but
let
it
me
puts
know.
some coin in
Don't
my
look at me
pocket.
that
She
way.
said she'll have it
Who are
soon.
you to judge?
She still has her job at the meadery for now, so she'll be able to pay us.
Why do you insist on defending that woman? All she does with her money is spend it on that dark elf garbage.
Just be patient, Aunt. She'll have it, I promise.
Is it true that the elves in Valen would enjoy being one with nature? I wonder if I'll even need clothes.
It's probably not a good idea to walk around naked like that.
I see. So, just the bottom half then?
Helga, how many times do I have to tell you not to wake me? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. Still, it's a little rude to rustle someone out of bed for no reason.
Don't worry about it, Svana. It's my problem. No need for you to get involved.
It's not that simple. Sure, I can go back to sleep, but it won't be the same.
No, please. I'm just
When I
talking
sleep,
soft.
I dream. Really vivid dreams. And when you interrupt them, I can never get them back.
I don't know. Next to Jade, you're probably the last person.
I'm from Markarth, actually. Had to move out here after I got into a little argument with
I
Cosimo.
suppose there's no harm in that.
He thinks I stole something from his museum. I asked him if he had proof, and he said mercenaries don't require any. So, here I am.
What? Don't look at me like that. I'm being serious.
Oh, gods, I can't imagine anything worse than that. Although I do have trouble staying asleep, as you have so aptly demonstrated. It's not just random travelers, though. It's the arguments downstairs, the snoring upstairs, and whatever's going on in Helga's room.
How do you do it, Valandor? How do you work at Blackbriar?
You get what you pay for, I suppose. although I guess they have the same troubles with Volwolf at the barn, from what I hear. I might just need to get out of Riften and go to a place like Ivarstead. It'll be harder on my coin purse, but I think I can make things work.
But your concern is quite funny. Mujita, you really need to stop using it.
Can I help you?
It's very bad for your health, and I wouldn't want to see anything happen.
Oh, it's not just random travelers, though. It's the arguments downstairs, the snoring upstairs, and
Whoever's selling it to you should
being
be brought to
awake.
justice.
Oh, it's not just random travelers, though. It's the arguments downstairs, the snoring upstairs, and whatever's going on in Helga's room.
Paragon,
Can I help you?
In your time here at the bunkhouse, has Helga ever made any...
Sure. I'm up now, so I might as well.
Helga? No, not that I'm aware of. Although she did ask me once.
Well, the other day I dreamt I was the Dragonborn, and the day before that I dreamt I was a dragon.
You don't even know her. The two of you
It's
barely
kind of
see each
hard to take real life seriously
I'm sorry,
anymore.
sir.
All I think about is going back to bed.
Svana, I heard that Sibi was put in jail. What happened?
I have a surprisingly small appetite. It's probably because I don't expend all that much energy.
Come to think of it,
As for how I get my food, well, let's just say my fingers do the work for me.
No, it was Speedy's brother, Ulfra. She's in
Most of
hiding.
the time, I have no idea, which is good. I'd imagine it'd be harder to enjoy my dreams if I knew they weren't real.
Sibi some manners.
Funny you should ask, though. There was one time I had the same dream twice, and sure enough, the illusion was broken. As long as I can remember. At first, I didn't really take them too seriously. I worked a lot of long hours, so I was always worried about waking up. And now that I barely work, I sleep more, and more importantly, I have time to think about what I experienced. Alright. Alright then.
Any luck getting the marks from those men?
Please help me. I'm going to lose my job at the Rift and Fisher.
Trees. They're beautiful here. Reminds me of
Yes?
autumn at home.
Listen to me, Paragon. You'll never get Niluva's attention the way you're going about it.
I don't know. Next to Jade, you're probably the last person I should ask for advice.
Will you shut up and just hear me out for a second?
I suppose there's no harm in that. What do you have in mind?
Move along. This doesn't concern you, friend. Move along. Move along. What are your thoughts on all this? I don't want some
Need something? What do you need?
I'd travel more, but who wants to deal with all the soldiers these days? I'm afraid I have absolutely no idea what you're speaking of. Fine. Here, take this. Don't... Then think of...
Destruction magic's fine. Just don't go burning down any buildings.
Hello, friend.
Music, plays, musical plays. What can I do for you?
You gonna buy something? Or just here for training? Otherwise, move on. Hey, I told you not to ask any questions. Here's your reward, as promised.
The finest oddities from Morrowind.
As crisp as a winter's morning.
Excuse me, Sarah. Have you seen my pa? Well, he was trading at the market stalls, and then he was gone. And I can't find him. But he's got red hair, like me. And a big bushy beard. Oh, won't you help me find him? He's got a scar on his chin shaped like a star, and a big fat belly. Well, Paul's always drinking and coming home late. And maybe he's over at the inn, but urchins like me ain't allowed inside. Just head on over there. I'll be right behind you. Notice what? I don't need money. I told you Paul has a big belly and keeps me fed. You need to get your eyes checked, Captain. Seems to me like you're just a big bully harassing some poor kid. Maybe you tried to kidnap me and I stuck you where the sun don't shine. Or you can let me slip off without a fuss and we'll be as merry as a mid-year morning. Okie dokie, Captain, I ain't even here.
Is someone there? Now
End the game.
Greetings, fellow Outlander. If you've come here seeking refuge, then you're welcome to stay. Just stay away from the roof. There's a nasty barbarian who lives up there that'll beat your face uglier than a Nord family portrait. Not at all. Dravras keeps to the roof and I stay downstairs. I've convinced him that's the safest place for him to hide. Of course, sometimes I can't help it if some greedy snowbird ambushes me and runs up the stairs. Dravras has killed more than a dozen whiteskins this week. Riften should send us some boon for cleansing their hold of criminal scum. Nonsense! I love those blonde-haired billies, with their pale skins and vapid eyes and beards that smell like wet fur. And those accents. Oh, those accents. Who wouldn't want to talk to someone who sounds like they have a drum stuck up their nose? Enough of you. Perhaps you want to head upstairs after all. A Nord lover like yourself may find the view of this barbaric wasteland scenic.
If you're not enjoying yourself, there's more liquor around here somewhere. Ah, another traveler. Bothru usually only sends Nords up here so that I might maim them and feed their carcasses to the wolves. Or maybe he's seen the error of his error-prone ways. Maybe he wants Odravos to have company to wine and feast and drink to Sanguine's honor. Why slaughtering Nords? At least that's what he thinks he's doing. It fills him with an emotion that I can only describe as glee because, well, that smile of his, it leaves me at a loss for words. And while he's full of glee now, imagine if he knew this was all a charade. Why, I dare say he'd be rather unfulfilled. The kind where you have a seat, drink some wine, and enjoy the view. When you wish to leave, the invisibility potion on the table will allow you to slip past Bothru unnoticed. Or, you may seek to confront him and convince him of his folly, although I would advise against it, as he's not the most pleasant person to talk to. Why else? The man hates fun. It's a disease that inflicts a lot of folks who don't worship Daedra. To them, fun is like encountering a cave bear. It looks warm and fuzzy, but it'll rip your head off and use your neck as a waste bucket. To them, fun is like finding inventive ways to kill yourself. To that I say, death is a small price to pay. Well, fun can expand to a great many things. Fun can be taking a bath in a cauldron of warm mead, or eating sweet rolls off a tavern wench's bosom. Fun can be riding your horse down a mountain, or pushing it off one if you prefer. Fun can be killing 7 bandits or corrupting 1 priest. Whatever it is, and whatever you're doing, the only question that's important is this. Are you having fun? And tell me the answer to that, and I'll tell you whether or not you should kill yourself. That we are, that we are. I'm surprised everyone still has their clothes on, but it's early yet. Oh, I did. I was once a member of the Kindle cast, roaming the Deadlands in search of things to destroy. Yet it all changed when I was summoned to the mortal plane, not by a conjurer, but by a man carrying a large staff shaped like a rose. And this old man, he wanted me to crush bandits. Something about his son being killed and molested or beaten to death by them. Real boring stuff. Only these bandits didn't fight like bandits, didn't look like him either, and they all owned wine cellars. I started getting these weird tingly feelings, what mortals call free will. Sure, it went against everything I had ever been taught or stood for, but I was tired of learning and wanted to sit down. So I slew the old man, only to see him rise up out of the ground all shiny, like some sort of skin wraith filled with gold. Turns out his name wasn't Old Man after all. It was Sanguine, and he offered me a beer. Exactly. Sanguine wanted me to betray him so I could betray myself. It's all rather simple if you don't think about it. I'm not clear on what the rules regarding Daedric princes and their subjects are, but what is clear is that Sanguine cares not for rules. I live how I want, which is what he demands. To make love, not war. Only making love isn't as easy as, say, baking a pie. It's more like baking 2 pies, when you only have room for half a bun. So to wash down both pies you have to drink. Ale, beer, mead, and wine, and exactly in that order. Drinking's more fun when you do it alphabetically. In any case, that's what serving under Sanguine's like. Only everyone's naked. I guess it does sound pretty good, although I'm more of a visual person myself. Don't have much of an imagination, you see. Well, Dromora have what you call a caste system, and what I call ancient history. But if you're curious, there's different levels of rank based on strength. At the bottom, you have your churls and caitiffs. At the top, your Marcanaz and Vulcanaz. In the middle are Kinvul, Kinreeve, and Kinmarcher. Now as far as mortals are concerned, the bottom tier are the ones most commonly summoned, because they're the easiest to bind. The top ones are the strongest, so they curry the most favor with Lord Dagon. But as you can clearly see, those of us in the middle are the handsomest of the 3. To make him a tool of merriment, of course, think of us all as a part of a single drunken revelry. Each attendee contributes to the overall joy. When a person such as Bathru enters the room with this special brand of gloom, bitterness, and hate, it brings the entire party down. So why not make him a doorman? The one who stands outside the party and checks invitations and knows not what goes on inside. Up here is the roof where happiness was invented, where plates dance with spoons, where the shine met the sun and the light met the stars. And this is the roof where reservations choke and die, where the scantily clad are merry and glad, and our throats burble with wine. Well, not literally, of course, but there was another time and another place very much like this, when mortals first discovered happiness. When he gets real ornery, his voice will yell the sort of expletives that make horses stand on their back legs and the bards forget their lyrics. Moons plummet from the sky, and seas will boil with such fury, they'll have to create a new divine to explain the phenomenon. Rabbits will forget how to fornicate, the clouds will forget how to rain, and Ragnar will find his head just to cover his ears. With a single ramp, poor Bathru can accomplish all these things, yet he can't bring himself to smile. More ale, more food, more beautiful weather to enjoy? Looks like all the clouds are too busy circling Bathru's head. Try not to pass out before the real fun begins.
Yes?
You came down the steps. What happened up there? How did you manage to survive? Talk. When Oblivion is he doing talking to people? What if you were Nord? We can't afford to let any of those snow apes loose. Come to think of it, you were up there for some time. So what exactly did Dravas tell you? Whatever it is, I'll have you know my conscience is clear. The Nords are a sensitive, insecure lot, overcompensating for their inferiority by treating Dunmer like second-class citizens. Ever since we arrived here from Morrowind, we've been insulted and derided, treated like the very beasts the Nords undoubtedly are. As far as I'm concerned, the only way we can coexist is to eradicate their very existence. Unfortunately, unlike the Khajiit, I can't simply make them disappear by offering them a job. It takes a little more guile. The Argonians are a subservient race, content to wag their tails for the Nords like common hounds. And before you suggest they conquered Morrowind, the swamp lizards did nothing of the sort. The Red Mountain is what felled our people. I was at the Bee and Barb in Riften having a drink when I met a man by the name of Sam Guavine. When I told him of my plan to rid the world of snow apes, he offered to help. But first he wanted to play a game. If I managed to solve his riddle, he told me, he would provide me with a powerful weapon to attain my goal. With nothing to lose, I accepted his challenge. In the end, the riddle proved rather easy to solve. What stands on 4 legs in the morning, 10 legs during the day, and is stood upon at night? While knights often call for men to stand on chairs, it never has more than 4 legs. No, the answer to the riddle is a dirty Khajiit thief. It crawls on all 4s as a kitty, stands on its toes as it attempts to steal your coin purse, and dies a worthless rug under your feet. Sam handed me a scroll. He said that if I used it, I could summon a bound Dremora to this realm for an indefinite amount of time. I wasn't sure if I believed him, but it wasn't something I could try in the middle of a crowded city, so I headed west to this watchtower. There were a couple of orc bandits guarding the entrance. I decided they would make a good test for my Dremora. I'm not sure. I ran for cover as soon as I summoned him. I couldn't risk getting hit by a stray arrow. Instead, I waited for an hour and returned to find the orcs gone. No doubt dispatched by their Dremora. As for Dravos, I found him on the roof, celebrating his kill with a drink. I found it a bit suspicious, but it made no difference to me. So long as he killed the snow monkeys I sent upstairs. Only now am I starting to wonder. What? You mean to tell me it isn't just you? Every single one of those bearded hawkers I've sent him is alive? No, impossible. This is the only exit to the watchtower. You're a liar, stranger. You're the one not to be trusted. Do you need something? Farewell.